Now we're going to talk about another form of governance, right? Talk a little bit about family employment policies. Okay. So back in November of 2013, just a few short months ago, we had just done a pretty informal poll just asking if, does your family business have a formal family employment policy? Okay. And of the respondents, 0% actually had a formal family employment policy in place. Right? 9% had some policies and procedures, but nothing formal. And a staggering 91% said they have nothing. No formal or even some level. Okay. Anyone in this room have a family employment policy, like a formal one? Okay. One. Yeah.
Do you want to try this one?
You were asked.
I know. All right. So, a few reasons behind a family employment policy, right? First, it helps to define some procedures and criteria for how family members enter and exit the business, right? The family employment business. Right? And there's typically a few key sections which we're going to go into a little bit further detail about related to what would go into some of these in a family employment policy, right? We have just the general purpose, philosophy. Why do we have this in place? What's our general belief on how family members would be employed? General conditions of employment. So how are people evaluated? How are the positions evaluated? The application process. Do we just apply? Does there need to be a job opening available? Who do we communicate that to? Also, talk a little bit about some disciplinary and termination process, right? Not everybody that's hired into the business is necessarily fit to work there. So what do we do about that and trying to also balance the sensitivity that they're a family member and you're still going to have to see them on, every Thanksgiving for dinner, right? And most family employment policies also have a section on just continuing education because that's often a pretty important factor in the legacy of the family. So a couple of key decisions. There's certainly more than this, right? But in an interest of just trying to highlight some of the key decisions that are made, there should be a clear definition of who is considered family. Does that mean it's just lineal descendants? Does that include spouses, right? Where do they fit into that? Where do they fit into that picture? Should include whether or not you want family members to have some level of outside work experience requirements, right? And that can be in terms of a minimum number of years working outside the business. It could be a minimum number of promotions that they've held at a certain position. What does the application process look like? Does there have to be a job available, or are we just going to create a position for a family member? And any sort of minimal educational requirements, either coming into the job or maintaining during their term of employment. And last, just consider, what does the performance evaluation process look like? Who delivers the feedback to those family members, and what's the frequency to which that feedback is provided?